Hello, BookTube. I have a guest. As you can see, we actually also have the Bean. she is being very quiet. I don't know why. But I thought, I have mail, and I have a guest. And you're as much involved in this book's in the mail as I am. So this is my friend Sam. He is also a working reviewer. so let's see what we have here. Of course, it's specifically tailored to me, so there might not be a whole lot of real press. Sam reviews fiction, pretty much exclusively.
That is a book of poetry.
That is a book of poetry.
Why do books of poetry have a different shape?
Yeah,
than all other books. Why are they more like quarto volumes than octavo? Why are they square?
These may be unanswerable questions. This is Foreign Bodies by Kimiko Han. Kimiko Han. Foreign Bodies comes out on March the 3rd. And when it comes to, I read the pub sheet for these things, but when it comes to poetry, the pub sheets are all just nonsense. They're just, what do you,
Yeah, it's like when painters have to explain.
They have to explain their work. It's always an endless hymn to belonging and exile or whatever. Yeah. This is inspired by Dr. Chevalier Quixote Jackson's collection of random ingested objects at the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia.
Oh.
All of a sudden,
stuff that they find in X-rays of people.
But they also remove them.
Oh,
right?
just stuff that they've removed from people's
random ingested objects.
So there's a poem about each thing that has been removed from somebody's intestines.
Yes, indeed. There he is. Okay, well, I've heard enough. Honestly, this is from W.W. Norton, and it comes out in just a bit. March the 3rd is. You have a ghoulish fascination with that, don't you?
Well, I want to know if it's going to be specifically about people ingesting things. It's not.
No, it's about the objects.
Yes. Okay. I would like to read a book of poetry that people accidentally swap in.
Ingested objects. Okay, all right. Well, we're off to a weird start. Let's see if we can do. I don't think even the poet herself.
The life of the party.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. This is another W.W. Norton. Okay. I think I have this already. I think we've seen this on this channel. This is the Finnish copy. It's an American publisher, so the Finnish copy is eye-wateringly ugly. And it is Free Thinker, Sex, Suffrage, and the Extraordinary Life of Helen Hamilton Gardner by Kimberly Hamlin. I don't want to block the guess there. This is what it looks like. And I think we saw this already. This is, after being outed in Ohio newspapers for her affair with a married man, Gardner changed her name, moved to a new city, became a famous reporter, and ultimately the most potent factor in getting the 19th Amendment through Congress, and the highest-ranking woman in federal government. And this is her biography, probably the first one she's had in quite some time. A woman whose life is both timely and timeless. HHG, which I guess that's what we're going to call her. HHG.
Well, it's all acronyms. HHG paved the way for women such as RBG, HRC, and AOC. A suffragist for the Me Too era.
Oh my. Okay, well, I'm gonna.
Do you think people will ever know you by your initials?
No, they will not. I've made a point of that because my middle initial just doesn't work. It's one of the many ways in which the AIDS epidemic inconvenienced me. All my monogram stuff had to go away.
Right.
I can't use it anymore.
That's right, I forgot that.
Very rude of a national plague to do that.
Imagine the letter you would least want between S and D, and that's what Steve
That
says.
is, in fact, the letter. Anyway, yeah, I don't monogram things anymore. Used to think it was cool, but not anymore now. Oh, very good. Okay, this is a double. We saw this already, and I've already praised it. I've read it, and I loved it. So this is great. This is gonna be a chance to praise it again. I don't care about your reunion tour. So this is, I've already told you about this, but this comes out on March the 3rd as well. A million books coming out on March the 3rd. A million. But this is Edward Achorn, or Acorn. This is Every Drop of Blood. his book about the Lincoln Second Inaugural. So a study of the linchpin of the book is the speech, the famous speech. But the book looks backward at what it's like to run for president in a country that's in the middle of a civil war, who you're running for president of, and looks forward to Lincoln's increasing clampdown on free speech, increasingly jailing people who were against the war, even if you weren't against the war, even if you went just so far as being a local newspaper editor who wanted to run an editorial about how maybe we should broker a peace. Then you didn't just get shut down, you get thrown in jail. And culminating, of course, in the ultimate term limitation.
Don't spoil the ending.
Spoil the ending.
But there have been other books about that speech.
There have been histories of that speech. There have also been histories of Lincoln's second term.
Yeah.
As much of it as there was. But this was really good. Really, really good. The thing I always tell my faithful Donoghue-gonauts, I always tell them that the thing I worry about in Lincoln books is hagiography, and this doesn't have any. So that's fantastic. I worry about it in Lincoln books, and I worry about it in George Washington books as well.
Whoa.
Oh. Paging olive. Oh my. Oh goodness. Oh well. Okay. This is from Princeton University Press. This comes out on March the 10th. How lovely. I think we saw this already. This is Bird Love. Love between Boyds.
Show the back picture.
Look at that. With the little one on top of. This is love between filthy, disgusting, lice-ridden Boyds.
Well, with those birds, not far.
Oh man, look at that. Incredible. And this is all about, I think we might have seen this. Actually, did we see this when we just reorganized my books?
No.
I don't remember seeing this.
No, there's about 5 other bird books,
Yeah.
but not that one.
Olive has a thing for bird books. She said she wants them all. So she's on my list to send this. Which is significantly nicer list to be on than poor David Murphy. He's getting one horrible doorstop of economic theory after another. Let's see here. We might think our courtship process as being something distinctly human. You might think that. You'd be wrong. But one only needs to look to the sky to see how all the steps in our romantic relationship, attracting someone, making a decision about monogamy, and potentially raising children, are really no different than those of a bird in bird love. And they're no different from a lot of other things, too. A lot of other animals, too. That's just a natural thing. Wow, okay, so March 10th. So as I worried, this is playing a little bit of Bob with all the nice work that we did.
Yeah.
But that is lovely, though. Good Lord. All right, well, I didn't mention, the first half of this was all envelopes, but now we're doing boxes. And boxes are always nice. So let's see what this next one is. Oh, mentioned David Murphy. There we go. Poor kid. But you mentioned that you like his stuff.
He's terrific.
He's terrific.
You're in a run of Princeton stuff, man.
And nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing just popular, ordinary, accessible economics reviews.
Yeah.
Not even for the journal.
No.
You get specialists to do it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So this is those of you who don't know, there's a fellow booktuber, David Murphy, who had the singular misfortune to get a degree in economics and business. So he gets these books from me. He does a fantastic job reviewing them. And this thing,
Misfortune to be employable, unlike everyone else, unlike all the rest of us.
I mean, imagine if he popped on the radar of the back of the book's editor for Fortune or something like that, they'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So this comes out on March 17th. This is Deaths of Despair. I don't know if you can make that out. See? It's black on black. That's how bad it is. Deaths of Despair and the Future of Capitalism. Whenever I see the word capitalism, I just start making out a mailing slip. So I'm not going to deal with it. This is by 2 people, Anne Case and Angus Deaton, who I think I remember David saying that one of them won the Pulitzer Prize. Oh, no, Angus Deaton won the Nobel Prize in economics. And let's see here. Since they first discovered the shocking rise of deaths by suicide, drug overdose, and alcoholism in the middle-aged white Americans and coined the term deaths of despair, Princeton economics and Case and Nobel Prize winner Angus Deaton and their dramatic discoveries have had a profound influence on domestic and international news. And this is all about that. As of 2018, life expectancy has fallen for 3 years in a row. Potentially 4 by the end of 2019, a reversal not seen since 1918, and that has not happened in any other wealthy nation. This is America that we're talking about. Good Lord, life expectancy has fallen. In 2017, 158,000 Americans died of deaths from despair, the equivalent of 3 full 737 MAX jets falling out of the sky every day with no survivors. Well, Sam's going to be suffering a bit of despair at the end of the evening once I'm liquored up, but it's not going to be that bad. You can just tune me out. Good Lord. Those are some bad statistics. Well, I think I might have already sent him the advanced copy of this, but I will send him the finished copy, see what he can make of it. And then we have the final box. Has there been any fiction
No.
in here? Oh, let's see. Oh, you're right. This is a run of Princeton.
Yeah.
So this is another finished copy. I think we've seen this already. This is going to be another March book, too. Oh, my God, yes, it is. This is another March book. This is The Loud Minority, Why Protests Matter in American Democracy. Coming March 10th. In the heart of the 2020 primaries. A new book that will forever change the way you think about protests, with case studies from the 1960s to the present, with a special focus on Black Lives Matter. While some people might think protests are one-off events that have no lasting impacts, Penn professor Daniel Gillian's The Loud Minority shows that protests actually affect who runs for office, how people view issues, and perhaps most important during an election season, voter turnout, and much more. Okay, so you notice there, very pointedly, in the pub sheet anyway, they are not saying it changes minds.
Right.
That's the one thing they're pointedly leaving out. And that's great, because that avoids fire from me. That's the first thing I would pounce on. They obviously don't change minds. They obviously don't change minds. So I'm hoping that this Penn professor just avoids that claim completely. Some people make that claim, and it's self-evidently wrong. But all the rest of these things might be true. It could be that protests did affect the blue wave in 2018.
It changed the focus of the discourse.
Yeah, gets people to realize that they're not alone. You know, if you can put 300,000 people in the streets protesting one thing, you're not going to seem so ridiculous as a write-in candidate saying that's my thing. Whereas you might or at least you might feel it if you were alone. So there you go. Let's have all these. That was a bunch of finished copies. Nothing for poor Sam. What's the name of the small town newspaper you write for? They're going to have to continue providing talent for you because you didn't get anything today. Bird Love, The Loud Minority about protests, Deaths of Despair, which is going to be things like people deciding to kill themselves because they can't afford medical insurance or because they don't see a way out of their economic downturn or whatever. And Every Drop of Blood, a wonderful opportunity to praise this thing again. It's coming out in early March, and if you or someone you know, if you have somebody on your list who is a Civil War buff, there are, Lord knows, plenty of them, or if you are one yourself, this is the book you got to have. Then Free Thinker, about the latest acronym that we are to memorize. HHG. And Foreign Bodies, a finished copy of a work of poetry about things that have been pulled out of people's stomachs. Poets. We've known our share, haven't we?
I try to avoid them. I do my best.
But they are the conscience of the age.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, that was your mail.
Haunting ERs, apparently.
Yes, the conscience of the age is over behind the anesthesiologist in ER2.
Checking the trash cans.
Yes. We'll be back. For 2.